So, first off, peace and blessings. Secondly, I'm going to talk about my Geico testing experience for claims adjuster position here in Houston, Texas. And on November 2017, I was called in for an interview. You know, they do like so many different steps in order for you to, have the position with them, hold a position with them. So back in November 2017, they called me in. They did an over the phone interview. And then after they did that, they called me in to do testing. So once we took our test, they made it clear that, there's no talking. They want you to turn your cell phone off, put it in your backpack, your purse, put it in a cubicle that's empty. When I first went in, the room was full. And the lady in the instructions, she said, once you're finished, don't sit around and talk. Be courteous to other people taking tests and things like that. And right after this girl started, right after she finished her test, her and another girl just immediately started talking. And my headphones weren't that loud. Like, I really couldn't hear what was going on already. And then by them talking, that completely just threw me off for the rest of the test. So after everybody finished the test, they called me in the hallway. And the lady was like, you didn't pass the test. And I was like, well, I couldn't even hear to finish the rest of my test. I was like, you guys said no talking. And they've been in here talking ever since they finished their test. And she was like, I'm sorry. You could come back in 6 months and reapply and do it again. So I'm like, this was a really waste of my time. It really was. So today, I interviewed with them again. Today is like, I don't know. Today is, what the hell is today? Today is Wednesday. And I went in for a testing this morning. So they called me. I was the first person they called. So I was like, yes. And the lady was like, well, you didn't pass the test. Okay. Now, the things that get me about this test, you have a stimulation test. And when you take this test, you listen. Some of them you listen, some of them you read, but you have to click on these different brackets that you have to click on and type the information into it. And I didn't understand, like, the directions say click on the stimulation, and so when you click on it, it begins to talk and tell you like, hi, my name is, I'm calling for this reason, my policy number is this, and things and that. But I didn't know that you had to click on each individual bracket. And I'm sitting there, like, my first 3 or 4 of them, I'm sitting there like, okay, I typed this information in and the time is still running out. I'm like, there has to be something else that I have to do. So I don't like that about the test, because it's the instructions aren't clear. They're not clear to me. And the second point that I want to make about that is, at the end of the test, they tell you can reapply within, in 6 months you can reapply. But I feel like that's not a help. If someone tells you just fail and have a good day, then that's not helping that person, because you can keep going back every 6 months. But if you don't understand what you're doing wrong, how is that supposed to help you? I feel like they should tell you, like, hey, this is how you scored. These are the areas that need to be worked on, or this is what we're looking for, and you're not giving us this, or just some type of something. Don't just put somebody out and be like, all right, well, you can apply again in 6 months, because that leaves you, on a hanger, like you really don't understand what you did wrong, or you don't know what needs to be improved, or what room there is for improvement. You don't know. How you supposed to know? So I was like, this has become a waste of my time. This is the second time I've taken this test. I don't like the fact that I've been called first. And I don't like it, because I don't understand what it is I'm doing wrong. Like, usually when I take tests, I score pretty high. It doesn't matter what the test is. Even if it's just general common knowledge, or if it's math, or anything that has anything to do with reading and comprehension, grammar. I've always been good in those fields, even high school, college, it didn't matter. So just to be told that you didn't pass and that you could come back in 6 months, that's not really helpful. You don't really know why. It could be something, it could be a grammatical error, or it can be something like maybe my first 4 questions that I didn't really understand what the hell was going on. What is where and where's what and how do you click, and just it could be something small like that. But whatever it is, I have no clue. They give you no information, and then they tell you you can come back in 6 months. I'm not going back. That's the second time. That's the second time. November 2017, and then you have now. This is 2019. This is April. So, I just it's a wrap. So I made this video because I wasn't going to talk about it. I just really didn't, feel like it was necessary until I looked yesterday. Because before I took the test in November, I went around and I was going on YouTube, and I saw this lady. She was like, she works for Geico, and she had been an employee for years and years and years. And she was like, people would ask her all the time. So that's the only video that I saw on there. And then what she said in that video, I watched the whole video and it still wasn't helpful. So she didn't really say that these tests exist and what all was going to happen during these tests and what could happen. So that's as much as I can tell you. It's not something where it's multiple choice. It's it's that might be long later down the line, but when you go initially to this first testing, that's what it is. It's headphones, listening, reading, and then you typing in, and you have to click on these different fields and input the information in. And you only get a certain amount of time to do it, and then there's a typing test as well. So that's just to answer the general question. So I probably will be applying to some other places because I am certified in all lines claims adjuster. So excuse me, I'll be looking into some different companies because I have friends that work for Progressive in different places, and they say that they don't have anything like this during their testing. It's a common sense and general math and customer service related questions and things like that, which I really think is the most important thing. Your knowledge of customer service, your knowledge of math and skills like that. This straight into it, insurance calling and typing and figuring out just to get the hang of the first stimulation is it just doesn't seem relatable and good for your first experience if you're taking a test. So I don't have anything else to say about it. That's what it is. Peace and blessings.